In order to have our freedom, we must have our self-determination. And since only reparations will put freedom in our sight, let us turn and ask our watchman, what's the hour of the night? We fought with the mighty armies when they battled with the Huns, felt the fierce pangs of combat, heard the roar of mighty guns, but no change came in our condition when the smoke had cleared away, for the blood we shed in battle did not bring the dawn of day. All of our suffering and service left us in the same old plight. So I've got to ask my watchman, what's the hour of the night? Whites are celebrating their freedom, a bicentennial whose praise they sing. Yet many Africans are also jumping on board, although we didn't get a thing. We're still struggling for integration, as if that was a glorious fight. So I've got to turn and ask my watchman, what's the hour of the night? Music is an art or a science in which African men reign supreme. Yet the story of our progress is still a vision or a dream. But we have great voices for singing, but we have no voice in court. Imagine being attacked by police dogs just to register. With self-determination, we would have the perfect right. So I've got to ask my watchman, what's the hour of the night? African men boast of their religions, although I wonder if they should. When you take an inventory, you'll find them not so good. We say God is, well, we build thousands of fine churches with the dollars that we give, yet countless African men and women have no decent place to live. We say God is our rich Father, yet we're always in a tight. Watchman, strike a match and tell me, what's the hour of the night? Civil rights laws just for us is proof that we're not free. How could we be tricked to think we had a share in this democracy? When foreigners come here, they're made citizens by choice. Citizenship was forced on us. We never had a voice. Passage of the 14th Amendment took away the right. So you better turn and ask your watchman, what's the hour of the night? Time is running out for us. The deadline we must meet to file reparation petitions and make politicians earn their seats. If we're to win this battle, every organization must join the fight. Then we'll tell our watchmen, what's the hour of the night? All right.
My name is Gary Anderson. I'm producing artistic director for Foster's Theater Company here in Detroit. We're just going to introduce you.
My name is Crystal Wayne Brock. I'm a poet, actress, and owner of Free Flow Poetry and Theater Company. We operate out of Detroit. We use the Lighthouse Theater. We have also used the YMCA Bowl Theater. Those are ours.
Sean P. Entertainment, Sean P. Williams. Basically been doing plays since 2006, and I go anywhere and everywhere that somebody let me in.
I'm Charles Winfrey. I'm with the New McCree Theater, located in Flint, Michigan.
I'm Charles. I'm Kathy.
She's our director, right-hand person.
Gary, would you lead off?
Sure. What exactly do you want me to lead off?
Black Theater. Just pick up from the film in terms of your struggle, and then go from there into, and then pass it on.
I won't necessarily talk about struggle because think it's all challenges. I think the interesting thing about the film, unfortunately, is that most of the theaters highlighted in that film are no longer around. That, in fact, only 2 of them, and one of them recently actually was salvaged. The Bob Rantier's National Black Theater was recently saved by a group of business people coming together and trying to stabilize it after her passing and the challenges that she had in regards to keeping it solvent. And then you have Woody King Jr.'s new federal theater is still producing a lot of work. The challenges really, I think, that occurs in regards to our institutions is really in regards to how they are sustained. If you look economically at the organizations, nonprofit organizations, theaters particularly, across the country have varying degrees, varying funding sources, either through the box office, through corporations, foundations, and individual donations. If you look at a traditionally white institution, 30 to 60% of their income on an annual basis, depending upon the economy, is generated through individual giving. The rest of it is made up through a mixture of corporate support, foundation support, and box office. When you look at our institutions, less than 8% comes from individual giving. And we make up the vast majority of it from corporate support and foundation support we can get, which is not consistent, and box office. I think that says pretty clearly why many of ours have short span of existence and why you have white cultural organizations that can withstand the test of time. It's really a challenge. Now, there's 2 sides of that. If we as organizations expect support from the community, we should be reciprocal. Our work ought to be relevant and responsive to you. Our work ought to be focusing on uplifting and empowering you. And our work ought to have your input in it. Those are the things that really, I think, at times have a real challenge in being sustained, because we don't always, that's not always a two-way street. But that's really the mechanism for not, as David put it, not being focused on the struggle. It's not really about the struggle. I mean, yes, there are challenges. Every organization has growth and contraction over the lifetime of its existence. But it's really about, if we are serious about sustaining these organizations, we also need to be serious about how we are engaged in that sustainability.
Yes, I definitely agree with what Gary is saying. The support of Black theater and Black artists in general doesn't seem to be as popular. And a lot of it, you do have to rely, when it comes to theater, on the community, especially if you're not getting the federal grants or anything like that, or foundations, or having a lot of backing. And it just seems to be very, as far as looking at the past, there was a lot of interest. There was like, you have more movements going on, you have more things going on, so to say. And I think people are kind of sidetracked now, that the theater isn't as important as what it used to be. Storytelling isn't as important as what it used to be. A lot of people are getting into the poetry scene, but the theater scene, as far as in the Black community, has taken a step back. They don't seem to be interested in socially conscious. We haven't recently put on a socially conscious play that was relevant within the Black community as well as in other communities. I had someone tell me I should add some songs. And I said, that was one of my things moving back from New York City. I don't know where this play format came from, and I called my friend after seeing a show saying, I don't know what I just saw. That's not a play, or that's not the format of a play. So it's become very, I don't want to say dumbed down. I'm not sure if that goes along with our school systems. And I have someone tell me that, according to how some theater, the theater in the schools are not what they used to be as well. I can't remember the name of the school, but their theater program isn't as good. So the interest really isn't there. And it's what I was talking about with people and trying to discuss is how to gain that interest back to where you have people coming back to the theater, Black communities coming back to the theater to support local artists as well as other artists, not just big names, so to say. There's a lot of what people have to say in the local community, as you can see.
I have to agree with you, and everybody 100%. But one thing I didn't learn from doing stuff, if that's what the audience want to see, sometimes you have to do it. Like you say, if it's a gospel song you got to throw in there, you throw it in there. You know, I don't know, in my opinion, I don't know if that's a play or not a play. When I was brought up, we learned about Helen Keller, we did the Miracle Worker and all that. In schools now, they don't even have theater. They don't even have theater in a lot of the schools. So really, we don't know what they getting or what they not getting. My thing is, I always believe, is people out there who love to enjoy stuff. This is one of the other things they did. I didn't went to plays back in the day, and I used to enjoy all the plays I went to. Now I still go to plays. Some might be at the Fisher, some might be at the Fox, some might be at the Repertory. You know, but that's maybe one of the biggest problems, where people not seeing different things and seeing the different things that's offered. Because I didn't enjoy plays at the Repertory, I didn't enjoy plays at the Fox, but it all come together that we have to work together in the community and help one another.
I agree with what everyone has said. Audience development with us is a double-edged sword. Not only do we want to fill seats in our venue, but we also have to educate, you know, our audience as to the meaning and the significance and the value, you know, of African American theater. So a large part of our job, you know, is educating the value of theater in our lives. What we have started doing at McCree Theater, and it sort of fits with the headlines that Flint is encountering nowadays, is that we do a violence prevention play that's directed to young audiences, and we bus them in from, you know, the various surrounding school districts, elementary students, to the theater. You know, so that we're doing a twofold. We're empowering them, you know, to withstand the violence that's surrounding them, and we're also acquainting them with theater. You know, so they get a taste of theater early, and hopefully, you know, as they go through life, theater will be a part of their life. Yeah. So, you know, that's one of the things that we're trying to do. But I tell you, we just did a season that included 2 August Wilsons and a Lorraine Hansberry. And we almost died as a result of it. Because invariably, people are going to come up to you and say, I don't like dramas. I want to be entertained. And, you know, and that might be valid, you know. Because in Flint, you know, entertainment might be, you know, a big deal because of all the negativity, you know, surrounding our residents. So, you know, I don't think we need to make apologies for entertaining, you know, but we have to stay true, you know, to the art as well, and that's a delicate balance.
You know, that's interesting that you say that